Proverbs chapter 11, the Passion Translation, living in righteousness. Verse 1. Dishonest business practice is something that Yahweh truly hates, but it pleases Him when we apply the right standards of measurement. So if you're in business and you are using false information or practicing falsely, dishonest, it's saying it's something that Yahweh hates. But what pleases Him, if you're a Christian and you want to please Yahweh, is to apply right standards. So you know in your work, in your workplace, in your job that you do, what the right standards are. If you're not applying it correctly, Bible is saying Yahweh, God, hates it. If you're also applying it dishonestly to gain favor or get promoted, get noticed, or bring someone down, just like Daniel's enemies were looking for something to use against him, they went searching all his records but found nothing. If you are working with people and you are looking for something, or you are putting out false information about them, false documentations about them, just to try to for them to look bad and then you look good, or to try and get them even fired, just take a moment and listen to what Solomon is saying to us here, that God hates people who practice dishonesty in their business, but He is pleased with them that apply the right standards. Verse 2, when you act with presumption, convinced that you are right, don't be surprised if you fall flat on your face. But humility leads to wisdom. So this is talking about pride as well. If you think you are right, don't be surprised that when you fall flat on your face. But be humble, because humility leads to wisdom. Integrity will lead you to success, but treachery will destroy your dreams. When judgment day comes, all the wealth of the world won't help you one bit. Be rich in righteousness, for that's the only thing that can save you in death. So money can't save you on the day of judgment. But he said we should be rich in righteousness, because that is the only thing that will save us, not the riches of this world. That's why the Bible says that what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? You can gain the whole world and have everything you want here on earth, but when you die, you have the same measurement of the grave, just like any poor person. Yours is not going to be bigger or smaller. It's the same size, and you can't take any of your riches with you. So all that you will get will be what left here on earth. But if you live a life of righteousness, that you can take with you. A life of righteousness can cross over from the earth to the next world. And so Bible is encouraging us to live a life of righteousness, not to be rich in righteousness, not in the wealth of the world. Because that's the only thing that can save us, being rich in righteousness. Worldly wealth cannot save us. Verse 5, those with good character walk on a smooth path with no detour or deviation, but the wicked keep falling because of their own wickedness. Integrity will keep a good man from falling, but the unbeliever is trapped, held captive to his own sinful desires. When an evil man dies, all hope is lost, for his misplaced confidence goes in the coffin, buried along with him. The righteous are snatched away from trouble, and the wicked show up in their place. A perfect example is Mordecai and Haman. Haman plotted evil against Mordecai, and not just Mordecai, but all the people in the same tribe, all the Jews in the land. But this is what happened after Haman built the gallows to hang or to kill Mordecai on that gallows. Things changed. God saved the righteous man from trouble, and Haman took his place. That is exactly what verse 8 is saying. The righteous are snatched away from trouble. God will take you out of trouble before it happens. He will not let trouble find you. He will delay you just because he wants to get you out of trouble. But the wicked, they will show up in your place. Anyone who is wicked, anyone who is planning evil against you, Bible is saying that God will switch places. God will switch places with them. He will take you out and put them in there. So the lesson here is that we shouldn't plan evil for others either, because God will take them and put us there if we plan evil. Verse 9, the teachings of hypocrites can destroy you, but revelation knowledge will rescue the righteous. The blessing that rests on the righteous releases strength and favor to the entire city. But shouts of joy will be heard when the wicked one dies. The blessing of favor resting upon the righteous influences a city to lift it higher. But wicked leaders tear it apart by their words. To quarrel with a neighbor is senseless. Bite your tongue, be wise, and keep quiet. Your neighbor is the closest person to you. So what Bible is trying to tell us here is that it's really it doesn't make sense to fight with your neighbor, because they are your closest person, or the closest person to you. The Bible says that the one who is closer to you is better than a friend or a brother who is far away. Because when trouble comes, it's those who are closer to you who will help you. You will not go and call people who are far away because they are your blood relations or relatives, but it will be your neighbor, the very person that you will see, the next person you will see around you when you are in trouble. That would be the person you will call. So it doesn't make sense to have a fight with your neighbor, not to be in good relation with your neighbor. Even if they do something bad, Bible is telling us here, bite your tongue, be wise, and keep quiet. Keep the peace. For Bible says that blessed are the peacekeepers. Peacekeepers. So let's always maintain peace. Now, talking about neighbor, it does not just mean your neighbor, the one next door. Neighbor can also mean what? Your family, your relative, the one that you are living with in your house. There's a story about a couple who had an argument and both went to bed angry. In the middle of the night, the wife, got a medical emergency. How do I say? Like an asthma attack or something. Heart attack, and was trying to reach out to her husband. Because they were quarreling and they both went to bed angry. As she stretched her hand to touch her husband to call for help because she couldn't speak, because she was breathless, short of breath, her husband moved away. Like, I haven't forgiven you, so don't touch me. Something like that. Not knowing the woman needed help. The woman died in the middle of the night without her husband even knowing, lying by her side. Only to wake up, get dressed, go to work. Didn't think anything about the woman. Come back home, the woman is still lying in the same position that he left her. That was when it kicked in that something is not right. And that was when he found out that his wife was dead. So having a quarrel with your neighbor. Who is your neighbor? The person right next to you. Your husband, your spouse, your wife, your children. The person that you are sharing the house with. The person right there is your neighbor. Jesus said, love thy neighbor as you love yourself. The one who will readily help you. Remember the story of the Good Samaritan. People from his own town passed by. A priest passed by when this woman needed help. It was someone, a Samaritan, someone from another tribe that they did not get on. That person helped this man. And Jesus asked, who was the neighbor to this man? And they answered, the one who helped him. So the one who will help you in your time of trouble is your neighbor. It could be your children. It could be your spouse. It could be your next door neighbor. So let's be at peace with our neighbors so that in time of trouble, they will be there to help us and vice versa. Verse 13, you can't trust gossipers with a secret. They'll just go blab it all. Put your confidence instead in a trusted friend, for he will be faithful to keep it in confidence. People lose their way without wise leadership, but a nation succeeds and stands in victory when it has many good counselors to guide it. The evil man will do harm when confronted by a righteous man because he hates those who await good news. A gracious, generous woman will be honored with splendid reputation, but the woman who hates the truth will live with disgrace and is surrounded by men who are cutthroats, only greedy for money. A man of kindness attracts favor, while a cruel man attracts nothing but trouble. Evil people may get a short-term gain, but to sow seeds of righteousness will bring a true and lasting reward. A son of righteousness experiences the abundant life, but the one who pursues evil hurries to his own death. The Lord can't stand the stubborn heart bent toward evil, but he treasures those whose ways are pure. Assault your neighbor, and you'll certainly be punished, but God will rescue the children of the godly. A beautiful woman who abandons good morals is like a fine gold ring dangling from a pig's snout. True lovers of God are filled with longings for which is pleasing and good, but the wicked can only expect doom. Generosity brings prosperity, but withholding from charity brings poverty. Those who live to bless others will have blessing heaped upon themselves, and the one who pours out his life to pour out blessings will be saturated with favor. People will curse the businessman with no ethics, but the one with a social conscience receives praise from all. Living your life seeking what is good for others bring untold favor, but those who wish evil for others will find it coming back to them. Keep trusting in your riches and down you'll go, but the lovers of God rise up like flowers in the spring. The fool bring trouble to his own family, will be cut out of the will. I'll take that again. Verse 29. The fool who brings trouble to his own family will be cut out of the will, and the family servant will do better than he. But a life lived loving God bears lasting fruit. For the one who is truly wise wins souls. If the righteous are barely saved, what's in store for all the wicked? God bless you.